Hello everybody, it's Mrs. Rawnsley and it's the Rawnsley Roundup on Friday the 12th of June. Okay, lots to talk about today and lots for us to think about. I hope you've had a good week. It's been a really horrible rainy day today. Horrible. And I just hope it gets a little bit better because very soon we can start to do our little bubble ups with some of our family that are older, and I'm very much looking forward to that. So, I would really like to say next week is a big week because we're starting to welcome back children into reception, year 1 and year 6. We've not got an awful lot of children who want to return at the moment, and I think it would be really important to see how next week goes. So Monday, if your child is returning to reception and you're wishing them to come back and you have already let us know, your children will come back on Monday at 9 o'clock, but you need to use the entrance to the school site, which is by the running track at the far end near the Mugger, and we'll look forward to seeing you there. Tuesday we welcome back year 1, and you will be coming into the school grounds only from the St Stephen's Road entrance, year 1, for a 9 o'clock start. Your teachers will be there. And year 6, you're returning next Wednesday for a 9 o'clock start, and I'd like you to enter the school site by the community room entrance off St Stephen's Road. We had a new gate put in there, a new gate at the bottom, and I will be there to welcome you. So for reception children, your teachers will be there and Mr. Baytrip. For year 1, your teacher Miss Love will be there, and so will Mrs. Thompson, and I will be there with Miss Mia and Miss Gadd for year 6 on Wednesday for this week. So you can't just arrive. So if you haven't told us that your children are coming back, they can't just arrive. We need you to tell us. There's still time for you to tell us that you would like your children to come back into reception, year 1 and year 6. If you can tell us, we'll make sure that we have the provision in place. Everything is ready. Everything is as safe as we can make it, and that, I feel, is the best way forward. As soon as you feel the confidence, mums and dads, we'd love to have your children back. We miss you and we want you back. So please, if you haven't returned a form, please do so. When we know exactly how many children are coming back into those 3 year groups of reception, year 1 and year 6, then we're going to have a look at whether we can bring back years 4 and 5. So next week, parents in years 4 and 5, we will be sending out a survey to see how you feel about your children returning to school before the summer holidays, so that we can do some work with them in school. All our sessions are half days. So the children from reception, year 1 and year 6 next week, you'll be coming for the morning only, 9 till 11:30, and we will just be focusing on maths and reading and writing and phonics, or spelling and grammar and punctuation, because they are the things that are harder to teach at home. Your children will still be expected to do work in the afternoon when they go home on other things. So like this week has been on Africa, which brings me really nicely onto our home learning. So right at the beginning, when we went into lockdown, every child received a big pack of worksheets and various things to do, which lasts them right through to Easter. Then we've been putting on our home learning sheets onto our website, onto our social media, and posting it out to some families who don't have that. Then you have been doing various bits of work and emailing in photographs of work or things you've made or things you're doing to your year group email, and that's been excellent. Some classes much better than others. I have to say, reception, amazing. So we decided, because we now know that school will not be opening completely before September, so we wanted to put together packs again for those of you who struggle with the online element. So next week there will be packs being delivered to every child's home. So staff from our school will be knocking on your doors next week and delivering you a pack of work for every single child who is not in school next week. We would want you to open your doors, please, and we would love to see your children on the doorstep. We, of course, will be socially distanced and we will be as safe as possible, but we want to see your children. We want to see them on the doorstep. For those families that we haven't seen, we are doing home visits this week, and I'm afraid if we don't get eyes on or no one ever picks up the phone, we will have to take that a little bit further, because the safety of your children is the first thing. We want to make sure your children are all safe. Really important. So that will be next week. You'll have delivery next week and it'll last you for a couple of weeks, and then there'll be one more delivery of packs of work on the week of the beginning the 29th of June, and that will be to take you right the way through. And so we will have no more phone calls unless we particularly need to speak to certain families. It will be doorstep home delivery packs. So it's vitally important that you answer the door, please. So moving on, next week we will survey years 4 and 5 parents. Then we will find out how you feel about possibly bringing your children back. So it's really important that if you get a text message with a link to a survey, that you fill out that survey, please. And make sure you read the questions, because we have had some surveys come back saying that they want to do something when they don't want to do something, or they don't want to do something when they don't want to do something, and it's all got a bit confused. So please, 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 if you struggle with it, ring us. Somebody here all the time. If we do get enough numbers of year 5 and year 4 children who want to come back, then we probably will try to get groups back week beginning the 22nd of June. I'm really aware, year 5, next year you'll be doing your SATs. Year 4, you need to be really cracking on with your learning as we're going to year 5 in September. I don't want to get that lacking there. And year 2 and 3, we'll just leave you for the moment because we probably can catch you up. But year 5 and 4, I'd like you back as soon as possible. Those of you who are in year 6 who are not coming back to school, the last week before we break up for the summer holidays, which I think is week beginning the 13th of July, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, yes it is, because I know we break up on the 17th of July, my son's 18th birthday. I will no longer be a mother of children after that. So 13th, that week beginning the 13th of July, we are hoping to have transition meetings with all our year 6, probably in the space hall, because it's nice and big and we can easily socially distance, and they will be in the groups that you are going up to secondary school in. So we'll be bringing back children who are going to Co-op Grange, children are going to Dixon City altogether, children are going to Dixon's Trinity altogether, children are going to Bronte altogether, children are going to Eden Boys altogether, etc. All the different secondary schools. Then we will be hopefully getting in touch with the transition person from those secondary schools to either do a Zoom meeting or even a face-to-face in the space hall. And we've got a variety of teachers that will help us with that. So that would be week beginning the July the 13th, the last week of term, and there'll be lots more information about that. but I want you to be aware that we will want you in, please, that week, if as long as you're all safe and well. From week beginning the 22nd of June, we will no longer be doing the Eden Red food vouchers for free school meals. From that week, we will be making food packs up for every child on free school meals, and they will be delivered, a week's pack delivered to your house that week by one of our members of staff, Mr. Iqbal. He will be going around with his van, and there'll be packs of food for each child who are on free school meals, and each family you probably get a bigger pack if you've got more than one child. So the Eden Red vouchers will be issued for the last time next week, and the following week there will not be any more Eden Red vouchers. It will be packs of food, and they will be delivered. So lots been going on, really busy. We're all very tired, as you can imagine, because we haven't had any time off really since all this lockdown, and there's been lots and lots of planning. I can promise you, if you return your child to school, they will be as safe as possible. We have literally walked the walk of every scenario. Every space is beautifully cleaned. Everything is within 2 metre distances. Everything is carefully monitored. All our staff who are returning have been risk assessed. All our children who are returning have been risk assessed. There is a clear protocol and a clear thing if we have any children with any particular symptoms. It has been thought through to the absolute minimum, and therefore I know, as your head teacher and as a mum, that I would be happy to send my child back here now, and I can promise you that we will do everything to minimise that risk, including the wearing of PPE if we have to broach the 2 metre distancing to, for example, administer first aid. Children will not be having free flow play. It will be controlled, organised gameplay outside. Lessons will happen outside if at all possible, depending on the weather. If it was today, it'd be dire. Classrooms are set up, ready. Our staff have all been trained in health and safety, in procedures. Everything is here and ready, and it is not like normal school, but we are still the same people, and we still miss you, and we still love you, and we want you back because we miss you, and we know that you really want to come back because you want to crack on with your learning. So now, here are our learning superstars. Have a wonderful weekend, guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye. Well, in year 6 this week in yellow, I am so pleased to say it's Hasnain Rashid. Hasnain, that's so great. Excellent research and using this for some great writing. Well done. And then for the second time in 6 green, Iktisham Khan. Well done, Iktisham. You really were working hard, and I know your mum is cracking the whip with you. She's doing a great job. Well done, Khatija. Hard work on negative numbers this week, Iktisham. Well done. And I'm going in reverse order, so I'm going to year 5 now, and in 5 green this week, Jivat Singh, and he's been doing loads of research about Africa and his determination to achieve his navy blue. Well done, Jivat. I'm sure you'll do that. And then in 5 blue this week, it's Amir Nawaz. Now, Amir has been working extremely hard on his home learning, and I know Mrs. Hannam is really pleased with you, as is Mr. Belland. Year 4, Isa Khan. Well done for 4 green, Isa. Working consistently well over the last 2 weeks. She's also made a lovely African mask this week. I love it. Well done, Isa. And then in 4 blue, it's Maria Qureshi. Well done, Maria, being the PowerPoint queen, says Miss Hull. You created an informative presentation about Africa. Then you edited it across the week with your knowledge as it developed. Whoa, sounds fab. Thank you. 3 green, Amana Hussain. And now Amana has just been consistently working hard all the time, and she's sending in her lovely work, so all the Year 3 staff are so pleased to be able to see that. Likewise, in 3 Blue, Hadia Ali, because Hadia has also been working really hard and sharing her learning. And the Year 3 staff of Mr Hall and Mrs Erskine and Mrs Omri are all delighted to be able to see your work coming in. Thank you. And then in 2 Green, it's Harris Shah this week because he's been doing super fact finding about the Eiffel Tower. Well done, Harris, that's great. And then Lamise Sarah, well done, in 2 Blue, super project work about Africa, and she's made her own factual booklet with some beautiful artwork. Can't wait to see that, Lamise. And then in 1 Green, Aliaska, for developing a positive attitude towards home learning. He started working hard at home for his mum and his sisters. Really great, Ali. Keep it up. And in 1 Blue, it's Hadia Ahmed, working really hard on a fantastic piece of writing all about the pyramids in Egypt. Wow. Let's have a look at reception. Minal Khan in reception Blue, writing some fantastic sentences on African animals. Well done, Minal. Oh, and it's Tobias in reception Green. Miss Allen, who's been in childcare this week where Tobias has been, says he has tried really hard with following instructions and with his maths work too in school. Well done, Tobias. Well, afternoon nursery child this week is Sufyan Arshad. Mrs Doran said you've been being really helpful at home and learning how to take care of your belongings. That's fabulous, Sufyan. Well done. And then nursery morning, it's Mohammed Zakaria Farouk for fabulous reading and always trying Mrs Doran's extra challenges. Oh, that sounds hard. And then our parent is Nasreen Akhtar. Nasreen is the mum of Danish in Year 4 and Uzair in Year 3, and they have been doing amazing, brilliant home learning. Nasreen, thank you for sharing the wonderful moments that you're doing with your boys. It's so brilliant. Have a lovely weekend, everybody.